Here's an interesting question. What's the difference between testosterone replacement therapy and testosterone optimization therapy or hormone optimization therapy? I think it boils down to goals. So with TRT, the clue is in the name, replacement. The clue with optimization, well, it's a difficult one really, because it's all a matter of perception. And I think you should only really be obviously considering testosterone replacement therapy if you have a confirmed deficiency. The word optimization has a bit of an association with manipulation, and I think that's where the issue lies. Most guys who have a deficiency and they have the negative symptoms associated with a deficiency, such as low mood, anxiety, an element of depersonalization, and the other ones such as loss of libido, erectile dysfunction, fatigue. They are seeking normality. They're seeking resurgence of their former selves. Optimization. It's a funny word because, yes, we want to optimize our male androgen levels. We want to get the best out of our male androgen levels. But what we're really seeking is normalization. That normalization sounds pretty dull, but it's not dull. Normalization means that your male androgen levels come in line with all the other biological parameters that are associated with health. So we have to remember that testosterone is an anabolic hormone. That also means that there are catabolic processes. It's all about balance. It's all about recognizing that the yin and yang, you cannot appreciate the good without appreciating the bad. Gonna get all deep in a minute. No, I'm not gonna get all deep. We've evolved over millions of years to these wonderful, highly evolved beings that we are. We're devolving, but let's not go there. Let's not go there. So what are we trying to achieve? Long-term physical and psychological well-being. Now, because obviously you have had a deficiency, and with all deficiencies there comes an element of mental health. So whether that be low mood, depression, anxiety, panicky, or depersonalization, so not really being in the moment when you should be in the moment, then conversely, high levels cause issues as well. High testosterone. Lots of my guys have done gear before, and gear is obviously romanticized on the internet. We all want to be big, buff and beautiful, but nobody ever talks about the dark side of elevated testosterone levels. You really do need to understand that the research demonstrates that in male suicide, high testosterone is also an issue. Now we know there's a correlation with low testosterone, but the research because we're obsessed by data, demonstrates that, yeah, suicide, there's a correlation between suicide and high testosterone. Is that simply because of our propensity to risky behavior with high testosterone? Quite possibly. However, there may be other elements that factor into this. So, a distortion of reality springs to mind. And I think that is paramount. I don't think you can have balance. We can't have balance. Well, ignoring psychology, the physical parameters that are affected with high testosterone, things like blood pressure, things like your HDL, it goes down. That's the good cholesterol. It's not a cholesterol, but let's not go there. Your LDL, so your bad cholesterol, goes up. Your hematocrit goes up. Now we know, before you say that erythrocytosis is different from polycythemia rubra, but the same biomechanical principles apply. Thick blood, increasing blood pressure, increasing your cardiac demand. Aggressive protocols cause your SHBG to be tanked. Apparently you don't need to worry about SHBG, according to the more is better crew. Again, that shows an arrogance and an ignorance. Why do we have SHBG? It acts as a buffer. Why does it act as a buffer? Because the half-life of testosterone, estrogen, and DHT are short. And you need to use those bioavailable male androgens 24/7. Do you need to use them in the same proportion for each minute of every hour of every day? No, because funnily enough, there are times when anabolic processes predominate and there are times where catabolic processes predominate. So, practicing evidence-based medicine is how we should all practice medicine. But when the evidence is weak and it is not statistically significant, you should also adopt a common sense approach to medicine. Working with your physiology, shock horror. Working with your biology, shock horror. We are, after all, biological organisms. Shock horror. Scary stuff. So the difference between TRT and hormone optimization therapy. Normalization, mental well-being, looking to long-term physical and psychological health. Working with nature, not against it. Shouldn't be rocket science.